lady, that new press secretary, she's a
that video, dude.
She's a gangster. They're prepared. And you know why they're prepared? Because they're trying to play gotcha.
Yep.
So she played gotcha with them. She checkmated them.
She came in there with that Elon Musk flamethrower.
Play that video.
Watching this clip, I couldn't help but think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the...
It finally happened. Karoline Leavitt, sharp-tongued, zero filter, and rising like a missile, just launched a $500 million legal warhead at The View. And now, the media divas are spinning faster than Joy Behar after her third brunch mimosa. $500 million. You don't drag someone on national TV and expect them to roll over. Karoline hit back, with a lawsuit big enough to buy the whole ABC building and still have change for Whoopi's wardrobe.
Lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
I think she's probably been put in there because according to Donald Trump, she's a 10.
Love her or hate her, Karoline didn't show up to sip tea, she came to flip the table. The View became what it mocked, a $5,000 coffee clutch where bad takes go to die. This lawsuit, it's not drama, it's justice with stilettos. Karoline didn't just clap back. She audited the whole panel like they were overdue library books, and baby, the late fees are adding up.
Absolutely not. Let me be unequivocally clear about that. And watching this clip, I couldn't help but think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years. They likened President Trump to Hitler. They have mocked him. They have shamed him. They have lied about him consistently on their show. And it was a joy to watch them on November the 6th when they realized that tens of millions of Americans do not listen to the lies that they have spewed. These women are completely out of touch with reality. And you're
sick of sanctimony. Done with the lectures. Karoline was too. Apparently, backing Trump and thinking for yourself is now a hate crime, at least on a show where free speech gets burned like a heretic. She brought receipts, dropped names, and torched the narrative. And then came Joe Rogan, the barbell philosopher with elk meat on his breath and zero patience for daytime propaganda. He saw the circus for what it was. They tried to cancel a threat. Rogan just cracked a beer.
Lady, that new press secretary, she's a
That
gangster.
video, dude.
She's a gangster. Have you seen that video?
You've never seen someone more prepared for a question in your life, Jamie.
Have you seen that?
Yeah,
I'm talking about?
Small point on that, not the big point, but small point. She was so prepared for
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, she's supposed to be prepared.
That's why I
Jamie.
said you've never seen someone
You know
more
why?
prepared.
for that.
No glam squad. No teleprompter. Just a MIC, some muscle, and a brain not for rent. Rogan's verdict. Brutal. This wasn't some teary press tour, it was war. The View picked a fight with someone who actually fights back. The Spark. A lazy hit piece where Joy, Whoopi, and Sunny unloaded on Karoline like it was gossip hour at the smear factory. No facts. No fairness. Just foam-flecked groupthink in designer chairs.
Heard that type of violent, enticing rhetoric from our side of the aisle, from Republican leaders on Capitol Hill, I think there would be a lot more outrage in this room today. It's unacceptable, the comments that have been made by these Democrat leaders, and frankly, they don't even...
Then Sunny Hostin grabbed her long-forgotten law degree, like it was hidden behind the wine fridge, and tried to play courtroom queen. Bad move. Karoline didn't flinch. She didn't tweet. She sued, with the aim of a sniper and the calm of a librarian. Rogan got it instantly. This wasn't petty drama. This was a seismic shift. Karoline just pulled the pin.
Joy Behar went after Joe Rogan on The View, and he fired back spectacularly.
You're worried about losing your job, and you're worried about podcasts taking over, and who's the source of news, and we said Donald Trump was Hitler, but half the country disagreed with us, and he won, and this is and Joe Rogan.
Meanwhile, The View panicked like toddlers on a sugar crash. Karoline's lawyers, probably drafting cease and desists in Comic Sans for style points. Rogan, somewhere mid-deadlift, choking on laughter. To him, this wasn't TV beef, It was a Shakespearean tragedy with Botox and bad lighting. If Macbeth had Wi-Fi and a podcast, this would be it.
And you know why they're prepared? Because they're trying to play gotcha.
Yep.
So she played gotcha with them. She checkmated them.
She came in there with that fucking Elon Musk flamethrower.
Play that video.
Then Rogan dropped napalm. No filter, no flinch, just scorched earth. He called it, "The View isn't journalism, it's a menopausal meltdown in HD facts. Optional. Fairness. Non-existent. Dissent. Treason." Rogan wasn't buying their act. And neither was anyone not brainwashed by cable news and candles that smell like self-righteousness.
People, even in the legacy media, even the Trump haters, they will tell you the approach has been much different. Not just for me, but the entire White House. Oh, absolutely. They come in my office every day and they'll admit that off the record. Oh. Maybe not on the record, but they will say they appreciate the access and the transparency and the preparation that goes into my briefings and everybody on our team, by the way.
The View is what happens when the high school mean girls grow up, get TV deals, and still can't tolerate disagreement. Fancy outfits, empty takes, and a blacklist longer than Joy's Botox log. Everyone from DeSantis to the janitor in a mega hat is fair game, until Karoline. And then there's Joe, who'll host RFK and Alex Jones in the same week and still sound saner than a single segment of that show.
Strange show, but it's fun to watch. It's just fun to watch them.
It's good entertainment.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly.
Well, they're just, it's interesting because I think Sunny is very intelligent, but she's ideologically captured.
Right.
It's sort of, I think the other ones, there's a couple of the other ones, don't have to name any names, who are just very dull-minded. But I think Sunny's not one of them. I think
Let's be honest, this isn't news. It's Judge Judy with more sequins and less integrity. Karoline knew it was a setup and still walked in like a boss. She didn't beg. She flipped the script. That lawsuit. Not a tantrum. A power move. The kind that ends with a $500 million payout and maybe a few pink slips at ABC before lunchtime.
People want us divided, and they aren't just here in this country. They're foreign adversaries who are infiltrating our social media because it is prudent for us to stay that way. But so when you see something that really pisses you off, you should triple check that one.
Yeah. But I think that's why people like our show, because they know that we are checked by ABC News. But
We're checked by everybody.
Yeah, I mean, if we're wrong, we have, the legal note here.
Human legal.
But we went from Walter Cronkite, basically, to this guy Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. I checked it. He believes in dragons. He believes in dragons.
Did you triple?
Rogan didn't see law, he saw theater. This was narrative warfare. A scripted hit job with legal consequences. Karoline came in brass-knuckled and subpoena-ready. Joe didn't blink. He's watched these clowns launch smear campaigns from behind the velvet rope of just our opinion. This time, she threw back, and it blew.
Oh, that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true.
They get so much hate watching and hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean, it is a rabies-infested.
Joe Rogan stood up and clapped, mentally, physically, spiritually. The View melts down every time someone disagrees, and now they're shocked someone fought back, with lawyers and receipts. Karoline didn't cry. She conquered. Rogan, sitting courtside with mushroom tea and a steak, watching America's most overdue media reckoning go full UFC.
And that's their audience.
Yes. Well, their audience is not really their audience. Their audience is a group of people they bring in to watch television shows. I don't know if you've ever seen audiences before for TV shows, but a lot of them are paid. They're paid to be there. So, because they have to guarantee that there's going to be people there. So there's services that you hire. And when a show gets really, really popular, like Letterman or something like that, obviously it has its own fan base.
Right.
Those people will try to get tickets before anybody else does. And in that case, they probably don't need to use a service anymore. They just get actual fans. But arguably, like, the real fans of The View that are like, oh, these ladies are on point. Most of those people can't leave the house. Like, they're probably immobile.
These aren't journalists. They're unscripted reality stars stuck in a live-action group chat. Rogan's not angry. It just annoys him it took this long. While Joy weeps into a soy candle and screams democracy, Joe's turning this drama into podcast gold. Karoline's not just suing. She's flipping the table Real Housewife style. Subpoenas in the air like wedding rice. And Joe, already lighting the fuse.
Like, did you see what she did to that Staten Island bakery?
Yeah.
No.
Crazy.
What?
So Staten Island bakery, their boiler went down, and she placed an order of cupcakes for her birthday. And they couldn't
Hold
do the
on.
order.
I can't imagine yet how this would go bad. Okay, go ahead.
So she places this order. They say, we can't promise you that we can do this because our boiler is down. So we can't fulfill this order. And so then the next day, the boiler is back up. She has someone else call the same bakery, and they get the order in because now the boiler's up. She claims the reason why they didn't take her order is because they didn't like her politics. And so she says this on The View. So then the bakery has a press conference where they say, we've been in business for 150 years. This is not what happened at all. We don't discriminate against anybody regardless of anything. We just had a problem with our boiler, and she's singling out a family-run business, and then there's a line around.
This isn't just a lawsuit, it's a cultural coup. Lights, camera, meltdown. Karoline's turning every insult into evidence, every panel freakout into political artillery. The View is choking on its own sanctimony. Rogan, relaxed, grilling a steak while narrating the downfall of daytime TV like it's the fall of Rome, except bloodier, dumber, and way more fun to watch.